Hello, 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 you gorgeous and magnificent unicorns. Happy Monday. I know it's not early Monday, but it's afternoon Monday, late Monday. Hopefully it was a great one. So today I wanted to share something with you guys. So whenever I start my mornings, one of my morning routines is going through this little book that I got from IPEC after I graduated the coach training program. In my in my opinion, I think it's one of the hardest coach training programs out there because it is so hands-on. But this is one of the 33 principles that is in this book that you can only get if you graduate this program. And I have it in my hands, but I will not be sharing each and every one of them, just a few of them once in a while. So the one that I want to share with you guys today, because what I do is I just open it randomly and allow this little book to tell me what I needed to hear. And that principle is the one I definitely needed to hear today. And I thought, hey, if I'm the one that needs to hear this, guaranteed there's at least one other person that needs to hear this today as well. So I will read the principle and I will read the description of it or explanation of it, if you will, and share more in depth of what this actually means in terms of you living your life to the fullest and eliminating your mind blocks. I call them mind blocks because anything that blocks, anything that causes us to feel bad, it's in here. Okay. Anyways, so life is a perfect adventure, a game that cannot be won or lost, only played. Now, I like to do this with everyone, and including my children as well. When I say a phrase or a quote, I want to know, what does that mean to you? Because it means different things to different people. And even though, I had this this discussion with my husband yesterday, with the quote, where he interpreted the quote one way and I interpreted the quote in a different way. And one of us, I'm not going to say who, not me, believed that each quote has only one meaning and it cannot be interpreted in any other way. And then, of course, that's not how it actually is. All of us interpret things, quotes, differently. And we interpret them differently, also dependent and based on where we are in our life today. So, for example, what this quote means to you today, it might not mean exactly the same thing next year or the year after the year after. It might mean similar things, but not 100% the same, because you continue to evolve. So your understanding of words will continue to evolve as well. And based on what you personally are going through in your world, in your life, is what meaning it's going to hold for you. Okay? So now the little explanation of it. Okay, ready? No? Okay, great. Let's go. When people open up to the mysteries available in life, they become empowered to experience all there is. Instead of trying to control things and create what must or should happen, it is far more enjoyable to experience the excitement of not knowing what might happen. There is no need to try to control anything. Be free from need. Without expectations, there cannot be disappointments. Ironically, once you give up the need to control, you gain ultimate control. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Can you guess who said that one? Probably all of you guys guess who said that one. So what this really is saying, and this is why for me this was a great reminder that I needed today. Building a business is not an easy feat. It is not. There's so many moving wheels that some of them you set in motion, you do them once and you set in motion and they're good to go, while others you gotta continue to oil and maintain every single day. And I don't know about you, but I wasn't raised to own a business. Very few of us had been raised to own a business. So in order to own a business, you need to create one. And these different things that I gotta do that don't align with me, that I don't like doing, that are not for me, but they need to get done because the way that how do I put it? It's because the way that I have my business, the way that I want my business to operate, these things need to happen, need to take place. Okay? And that's not something you can always delegate, even though I'm all about delegation. So with this phrase, with this quote, it reminded me that I'm taking things way too seriously. Way too seriously. And to shift my perspective on my business as this is a fun game. This is a science experiment. So let's see what happens if I do this. Let's see what happens if I do this. Let's see what happens if I just go live and talk about this one principle with no idea what the heck I'm going to say. That's how I've always wanted to do my videos, and the best way to have what we want is to go and do it. Go take the action and put fear aside, right? Fear of, in this case, being judged. But at the end of the day, I don't particularly care what everybody else thinks of me, or, how I show up or don't show up. But at the same time, there is the part of me that does. That's the part that I'm working on reprogramming. All of us have that. There's a reason why you might want to go live and do live videos, but still have not been able to do it. Have not been able to bring yourself to that point to just click live and go live, whether you have a script or not. When I started doing my videos, everything was pretty much scripted. I had a whole entire script that I would find a way of how to read and nobody could tell. So I've gotten really good at reading scripts and people not knowing that I'm reading a script because of that practice. And then I wanted to be able to go live and not have any kind of script and just go live and do it. And whatever comes through, comes through. And here we are today. And I am continuing to get better at this skill. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for progress, and and at the end of the day, like what I was talking about, how we all have that fear of being judged and what others think of us. It's a deep, very deeply ingrained fear that we all have. That's why people are terrified to go on a stage. Even those that go on a stage every single day, they still have a little bit of fear and anxiety when it comes to that. It's natural. It's very natural. It's very normal to feel that fear of rejection, fear of persecution. Especially in the world that we're living in, everyone is so sensitive to what is being said and then how it's being said. And that truth of the world is not the truth that I want to accept and I want to live with, because it's very restricting. Because if I think of, I'm going to go live and I'm going to say something and I'm going to offend someone, I'm never going to go live and I'm never going to do it, because I'll continue to fear, what if I say something that offends somebody? Or what if, this little hair keeps sticking out, not going back to the same place that it's supposed to, because it just keeps going this way. What if that goes the other way, and then what? People are going to see, they're going to know. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Because this is the fear that stops a lot of us from our own success. Okay? What you think of yourself, how you judge yourself, how you, the words that you use to talk about yourself, within yourself, nobody else knows. Nobody else probably even comes close to thinking those words or seeing you in the way that you see yourself. A lot of us don't realize that. A lot of us, we just believe that when we show up a certain way, and we think something of ourselves, that everybody else is going to think the same thing. But if you can take that power back, because what happens is you give that power away by you not showing up as yourself. And this is one of the hardest things to do for anyone, to show up as yourself unapologetically. That's why most people, they don't speak their truth. You ask someone for their opinion, they might not give you the whole entire truth of what they think of, on what you're asking them about, because of that fear of being judged, because of that fear of they're not gonna like me, or I might look like a fool when I say that. And if you do, then what? You're gonna die? Probably not. I hope not. I haven't heard of anyone combusting and dying, the moment that happened. But back to this. Life is a perfect venture and a game that cannot be won or lost, only played. So this quote right here is clearly telling us that this perspective that we are living with, winning and losing, life or death, is exactly what keeps us playing small. This is what keeps us from living our best life and our best version of ourselves, and enjoying life and embracing it and allowing it to just happen as it would either way. But we bring in a lot of catabolic energy. Catabolic energy is the energy that drains us. It breaks the system apart and it makes us feel bad. We allow that energy in, and when you allow that energy to come into your daily life, day in and day out, week after week, that becomes your world, that becomes your reality. And getting out of there feels impossible. And rightfully so, because it's heavy. It's a very heavy energy. It's like, getting out of that energy, it's like a mountain, right? You look at this giant big mountain that you gotta climb, and that energy is like having 100 bags that are attached to you that you cannot let go of, because you are not yet aware that it's your choice. And then you gotta climb that mountain with all of these 100 bags that you have on you. That's what that feels like when you're in that energetic space of catabolic energy and you want to get out, and you've been there for a really long time. So the longer you've been in there, the more bags you're going to have, the heavier the load becomes. But what I want to tell you is that it doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be that heavy. by simply realizing, you know, that right now you're experiencing catabolic energy, and what you're carrying is not yours. It's everybody else's shit that they have given you or you have taken and you have allowed to be shoved into your bag, that you can just dump it, that you can just take it off and leave it, right? And that allows you to step into the anabolic energy, which is energizing, which is uplifting, which is building. It rebuilds what you have damaged, I guess, in a way, what has got damaged. So that's where we're trying to go. We're trying to all move towards that anabolic energy that builds us up, that ignites our soul, that we feel the most alive. And it's important to remember that when we are down, it's not going to last. That our natural process will bring us back up. It always does. It always brings us back up. For some of us, it might be for a small or short little period of time. And eventually, and for others, and those eventually as well, it will be just the normal way of being. And once in a while experiencing catabolic energy, once in a while going through rough patches, but then the natural process will always bring you back up. So that's all I had for you guys for today. How did you like this little principle? Let me know what your biggest takeaway was, and yeah, until later alligators. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Maybe I'll share one more of these tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Bye, guys.